Hey, I'm back with part two of How to Be Happy Now. This segment is going to be pretty short, but it's very important, and I think it's probably the number one thing that holds a lot of people back from being happy now. And that would be forgiving others and forgiving yourself. First, I'm going to talk about forgiving others. So, the best quote that I've heard that kind of sums this up is by Buddha, that says, holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. So, if you think about it, we are feeling, or you are feeling the emotions, the pain of anger or of not forgiving someone, whether someone has hurt you, done something awful. Forgiveness is the way to let that go, because unfortunately, so many times the person that is hurt is hanging on to not forgiving that person, hanging on to those really harsh emotions and hurting themselves. I mean, really hurting themselves, like high blood pressure, that aching in your heart when you haven't forgiven someone, or just the incessant thinking of over and over, I wish this would have happened, I wish I would have said that, and just not forgiving that person. That anger takes years off of your life. Those emotions are real and hurtful and painful. And forgiving someone doesn't mean that you are accepting what they did or what they said. That's not what forgiveness has to mean. Forgiveness can just mean that you are going to let go of those emotions that that person has inflicted. And so you are deciding that I am done hurting from this person. From this point on, I'm moving on. And they are going to feel what they're going to feel, but so many times you're the one that's left, drinking that poison when maybe they're the ones that did an awful something, but you're the one really feeling the pain for it. And so letting go of that, sometimes it can just mean, praying if that is part of your life, praying and for forgiveness for them, praying that you can let it go, or just maybe it's journaling it and saying, this is wrong and this wasn't okay, but I'm going to forgive them, I'm going to move on, and I'm going to be happy. And sometimes there are things in life that are too big to just internalize. And I would highly suggest going to counseling to work through those things, because it's not fair to you that someone has done something that has affected you so poorly that you are stuck with this for your life. And that is not right. And so you have to find a way that you can move through that. And whether that is something that you can do personally, or finding a counselor, or whatever works best for you. If that's self-care, self-love, working through it, journaling, you do what you got to do. But just know that you're the one that's inflicting the pain on yourself by not forgiving. And that can be a really hard realization, but you're the only person that can forgive someone else. And then forgiveness of yourself. We are all human, and by that, we are not perfect in any way, shape, or form. And so we need to forgive ourselves. We need to understand that, we really are doing our best. On our bad days, we're doing our best. On our good days, we're doing our best. And so we're going to slip up. We're going to do things that we don't, in our perfectly right mind, we wouldn't do. But forgive yourself. Choose love, choose forgiveness for you, because you deserve it. Because holding on to shame, guilt, anger for something that you've done in the past is not going to change what you do in the future. Most of the time, you just bring your own self down more, and then you have kind of like this self-sabotage circle that is not worth it. So that is kind of my main points for today. Just remember, forgiveness is so huge and it really makes a difference in trying to choose to be happy. So, thanks again for stopping by, and I'll see you soon for part 3.